There he is.
Yes.
What's up?
What's up, boys?
It's so good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man. It's great to see you guys.
I like the backdrop. You look so official.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the nice office chair for the larger mammal, so it's good. It feels good.
I need to invest in one of those. So here we are, man. We're like hours, not days from the draft, and
I know. Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. Yeah. But I know you guys have poured a ton of work into this draft, and it's kind of cool. Like, this is always a special weekend in general, but obviously for the scouts, it's like their game, their only game of the season.
Yeah,
So
I'm curious. So, we got so many stories to tell and mess around and all that stuff, but I'm just curious, like, kind of taking a step back, big picture, right? For people out there who are tuning into the show, like, all right, you've done all the work, and we've kind of tried to document the process for everyone, but like right now, you're one of 32 sitting in that chair. Like, what is going on Tuesday, Wednesday? Like, you've got your board set and all that. Take us through what is the general manager you're doing like now before the draft.
Yeah, so this is the time. Like, usually the scouts come in on either Sunday night or Monday before the draft, and you kind of have a speak now, forever hold your peace meeting with the coaches and the scouts. You kind of go over the board one more time. You go over the players one more time, and then it's just maybe tidying up a few strategy meetings with coordinators, with the head coach, putting the plan together. You're gonna go over everything with ownership, basically give them the roadmap for exactly how the night's gonna go. Like, okay, like these are the 4 players that we'd consider trading up for, and we'd be willing to give this up. If they're gone, we're happy to take any of these 5 players. We'll turn it in. We'll run it up. No hesitation. Okay, if those guys are gone, we're happy to take this next clump of players. But now we're entertaining calls. We're entertaining trade back calls. So you're just walking. You're walking ownership through that. You're making sure you're crossing the T's, dotting the I's, making sure there's no surprises.
So you've decided at this point what you'd be willing. Like, let's say you want to move up 4 spots, or
Right.
players falling, and you're like, all right, we want to go. You've decided what you're willing to part ways with in order to go move up.
Yeah, everyone. I feel like everyone used to work off the Jimmy Johnson trade chart.
Yeah.
I think every team has their own proprietary trade chart now,
Right.
based on their team's analytics group. So, you're making the calls ahead of time. Like, we'd have our meetings with the coaching staff around the second week of April, and then in between that week of meetings and this week, you're calling teams and you're just trying to get a feel for, are you willing to trade up? Are you willing to trade back? Like, so you're kind of laying the groundwork now for some trades, and then you really put together, okay, if this player is available at this pick, we're willing to give this up in a trade. And look, sometimes that scenario happens, and the team, obviously, it takes 2 to tango, right? Like,
Yeah.
the team's just not willing to budge, or they want more, or you're willing to trade out, but the team's not willing to give you what you want. So, it's just you're just working through all those different scenarios.
So we're hearing today, right? And I've just had someone in the league text me, like, we're hearing this. Can you find out any more information? Like, that there's a team aggressively trying to move up to 2, even like at this point. Love for Travis Hunter, right? When you're like, is that surprising to you at this point? That, like, is it too late in the process? Is it surprising that it's happening right now, or is it just the information's coming out?
No, it's surprising that information is coming out. Usually when a move like that happens, it depends on how far back that team is that wants to get to 2. It's a little surprising that's coming out.
And it may not even be true, but it's
right. It
just,
may not be true. It may just be speculation. But yeah, you're having those conversations. You're laying the groundwork now. And I think there's been cases of teams making those trades. Usually it's
already happened.
Or now.
Yeah.
Or even the day of, if I can remember correctly. I can't remember when Tom Dimitroff traded up for Julio. Like, I think that might have been a day up.
That was that day, right?
Yeah, I think it was the day. So when you're making significant jumps And again, if a team's willing to do that, I don't know how far back they are. Yeah, I mean that could be down to like an hour before the draft or even on the clock.
Awesome. Can we talk about the offensive line now or what?
No, not yet.
Of
No,
course.
no.
Come on.
No, not
Let's
yet.
go, man.
No,
Yeah.
not yet.
I mean,
When
it all
did-
starts up front. We know that.
Not
yes,
yet.
let's talk. No,
Not-
let's talk about the quarterbacks for the
No,
90th show in a row.
not yet. No. I need to know this. I've been fascinated. I can't believe I've never asked you this question before, so let's just do it here.
Yeah.
This should be good.
So who's in charge of the spread for the weekend? As a general manager, do you get
God.
control of what food is being brought in, what the catering situation is? Do you ask scouts like, does everyone get an opinion, or do they get to? How does that whole thing work? Because like to me,
Yeah, I mean,
outside of
I've
picking the player,
never-
that's it.
That's a great question. I mean, usually the team and the ownership, I mean, it's calorie overload. Like it's just an entire spread, whatever you want. I mean, right there, a buffet. And it's a little outrageous. I mean, there's been a couple requests over the years. And we're able to get some certain sandwiches in for the Saturday, specifically the Saturday of the
I can see
like
Saturday
that's a
being a
scout
grind.
favorite, like because that last day, I mean, that's really the scouts' day, right? Like everybody knows the first, second, third round guys, but like
right.
when you're diving into day 3 and undrafted free agency, I mean that's the scouts' day.
All right, go ahead with your offensive lineman, Mitch.
Yeah,
Let's go, Steve.
it's about time, man.
Yeah,
I just want to get
yeah.
your thoughts on the tackle group. Is there maybe someone that you like more than maybe McShay would like a Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, or is there
Yeah,
someone a little
I
farther down
think-
the board?
Yeah, Josh Simmons, I think, is a freak athlete. I mean, every sport starts from the ground up, and like that guy has a lot of natural tools in terms of his ability to sink and bend. He can run. I mean, he's really gifted. I think overall, the tackle group, I don't think it's as strong as it was last year. I thought that was an exceptional group last year.
Agree.
But I still think that there's plenty of good offensive linemen in this draft. And I mean, Josh Simmons is one. I mean, he's a has elite traits. I think him and Membu, you could argue, probably have the most athletic and physical upside of the entire group. But I think there's a flavor for everybody. If you want that gritty, nasty, tough guy, kind of Logan Mankins, Yonda vibe, there's a few of those guys. If you're looking for the elite athlete, you got a couple of those guys. Developmental guys, there's a few of those guys. So I think it's not as top heavy as last year in the tackle group, but it's still a solid group.
What's your take on Will Campbell and that whole arm length situation?
Yeah. Look, again, Will, like I said with Josh, I think from the ground up, like, he can bend. He's got great lower flex. He can sink his hips.
His sets are amazing, man.
He can uncoil his hips. He has great ankle flexion. Like he can dig all of his cleats in the ground against the bull rush.
I
He's
fucking
tough.
love you, offensive lineman.
Let's
You
go.
guys
Yeah, man, we're going
are
into the
insane.
it's,
Let's go.
it's the big man ballet. Like it's very technical. Like he does a lot of great things. I think he's good with his hands, like from the neck up too. Like I think, his mind, his processor works fast. I mean, the length is a concern. Some teams are real sticklers for length. Other teams just give me the football player. Will is an absolute dog of a football player. And, I think, I'll say this. You saw it in the Super Bowl when length showed up. And Joe Thuney's an all-pro guard, and he's one of the best offensive linemen to ever lace him up. But he played out of position at left tackle. And I think you saw the Eagles able to exploit a lack of length there.
Yeah.
So I think it did show up on tape. But at the end of the day, I mean, that dude's a baller. I mean, that dude is a hell of a football player.
Agree.
There's some business to take care of here, Mitch. I've got to host this crazy thing. You're doing it with Jay Glazer. You're going to work with Jay Glazer and the crew for Fox Sports,
That's
right? And their producer wanted to make sure that they wanted us to make sure we got the information out there. I'll say, like, it is absolutely going to be the second best thing that you want to tune into on draft night outside of the McShay show with Mensch and I live streaming. No, but seriously, like, this sounds fun. Listen to this, Mensch. You ready? I don't even think you know the exact details. tune into Fox Sports Radio draft night, right? Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, throughout the first round. You've got Glazer, Joey D, LeVar Arrington, college football Hall of Famer, right? And Jenny Taft, who's like all over this thing. Like, Jenny Taft's awesome. She's awesome at what she does. So covering all 32 picks, predictions, reactions, everything you can imagine. Just to have like Joe's like intel and analysis, like I don't know.
That's a great roster.
It's a great roster. So
yeah,
Thursday
we're gonna have fun.
Good.
We're gonna have fun, man. And Jay is the absolute best at intel, and I'm sure there's going to be someone that LeVar likes a lot that goes really, really high that we'll be able to talk about early in the night. So
I'm sure
we're going to have a good time. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of laughs, but also, we're going to talk about these guys and what they can do and how they can help the team that drafts them. So it's going to be exciting.
So that's on Fox Sports Radio and also a live stream simulcast on Fox Sports Radio YouTube page. So check Joe out there. I made Joe promise before he went and did something big and media thing when he's doing just kind of hanging right now that he would come on with us, and he is always good to his word. How you been, man? Everything good?
I'm having a blast. Just being able to sink my teeth into this draft class, not letting the draft class go without getting to know the players and evaluating all these guys and thankful for the evening that I'm going to have on Thursday with Jay and Jenny and LeVar. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, but it's good, man. It's been it's been fun and just staying in it, and excited about this week and excited about the future.
I got to ask, man, like when you became a free agent and you're sitting there and you're evaluating things in your life, did you ever think about, changing courses and getting back into the acting career? Because I don't know if everyone knows about this, man.
No,
but Joe's brilliant performance in The Replacements, a little 2000 film starring Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a minute.
John Wick 7 with Joe Douglas. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Do you still have your SAG card?
Do you still talk to Keanu?
I think he lost my number at some point over the last 26 years. We did that back in 1999. I can't believe it. Like that's
wild.
You killed it, man.
Who else?
Yeah, we had fun.
Who else was in that with you?
It was Jasper.
And
then Seth Wyman had a role speaking behind the dad that was also in Something About Mary when he was talking like the union rep of the movie.
Right.
Seth made a cameo, but me and Jasper were the two Richmond guys in pads. It's crazy because Seth's brother's girlfriend did all the movies or the commercials that came through the DC metro area, and we just finished playing at Richmond, and she was like, "Hey, they're doing a movie. You should go try out." So it was me and Jasper, Wyman, Elio, of course.
Yep. Elio and Bernoni, and people may know him as Iceman now.
Mr. Ice.
Yep.
Mr. Ice.
I made the mistake of introducing Elio, our good friend.
You can't talk enough about Elio. He's one of the
all-timers.
He's a true character in life.
I introduced him. So I was doing college games. I think I was going around with like Mike Gottfried back in the day. I think that was, I know I was. I think that was a point in time when I was going around and kind of helping Mike Gottfried out in that Saturday night SEC package for ESPN, right? I just started my career. So I introduced Elio to Portnoy because they were both, like, I was leaving for the weekend. And so I come back on Sunday night, I think I was like Mississippi State, get back in. And I'm like, where are you guys? And finally after like 5 phone calls to their cell phone, one of them picked up. They're like, it's not good. And I'm like, what do you mean? I think it's
like the hangover. We messed up.
He goes,
man.
Nope, not good. They met 2 of the biggest degenerate gamblers.
Oh yeah, the stars align.
And I didn't even think. I'm like, yeah, you guys should hang out. Like, I'm going to be gone this week. You guys should hang out. You're both in the city. And they lost like $24,000 combined in the first weekend they met. And like they're now closer friends than I am even with Elio or Portnoy. And I grew up with Portnoy, so that was. That's
it couldn't have been a more perfect match of degenerates
it's worked out well.
coming together to form like a Justice League of what they do best.
No question.
But I mean, we could do this. I mean, I've told people like you could write probably a 15 season sitcom about just our 5 years.
Do you ever think back on like
what?
Do you ever think back on like Richmond was a tiny school, a tiny program, and all like Joe Cullen now, like Super Bowl champ, like defensive line coach, and all, but not just like where everyone's gone on, but the absolute lunacy that was going on in that place.
Oh,
Like,
it's amazing. Like people used to love to hear, other scouts would love to hear the stories, the University of Richmond stories, and there are dozens and dozens and dozens of them, and I know
a lot
you
you can share right now.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to go. I mean, we could do a whole series, like years of it. But I know you guys were on Sousa or with Sousa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're talking about the Private Fortenberry story with Elio. Just the fact that University of Richmond had at least 10 coaches on staff and 3 strength and conditioning coaches. And by like 2 years into Elio's time there, they were just like hands up, like, hey, ROTC, you take this guy every morning. We're just so tired.
So Elio was such a handful. Elio was such a handful that they finally, Jim Reed, our coach at the time, the head coach, Jim Reed finally was like, fine, like I can't do it. So I'm gonna hand you to ROTC. And we would go out and would party on like after a game on a Saturday night or in the off season, and he would have to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning every morning and go run every day. I don't know how long it felt like. It went on for like over a year.
They couldn't break him.
This was years. Plural. But Elio refused to conform. Obviously,
you couldn't break.
And Elio had it figured out before any of us. Like we all went into Richmond like trying to figure out what we were going to do in life. Like Elio knew exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah, his dad was
take over his dad's business,
fresh off the boat from Italy.
Have as much fun as humanly possible. Gamble as much. Literally screaming. Summer school, we're upstairs in the apartment. I hear him screaming. He's literally watching every pitch of a game on the internet, 1997 internet, like because there's no ticket back then. So like he's like living and dying with every pitch for like a Reds game, and you're like,
and meanwhile, Mark Megna, who got drafted and went and played the NFL with the Jets and the Patriots, they were roommates.
How were they?
And
roommates?
Mark was like a drill sergeant. He was like officer gentleman. Like screws loose, and I mean that in the best way too, but like insanely committed. And like I remember one time I walked into their apartment, and Mark got so fed up with his nonsense, he took his head and he threw it into the wall, and Elio's head's in the wall, like the drywall. He can like see inside the wood. Oh my gosh.
He used to make Elio go into the closet for timeout. That is true. I witnessed it.
Didn't Elio get a touchdown his freshman year, and then they interviewed him after the game?
It was like the second to last. It was the second to last.
Richmond
game.
Was like 2 and whatever.
Right? Yeah, the head coach was getting ready to be fired.
Right.
And that was the year before Coach Reed came.
Yeah.
And so the second to last game, they completely wasted Elio's red shirt. Threw him in. I forget the team. He had a touchdown. Literally, first time he touched the ball, he had a touchdown because he's just such a natural athlete.
And then they interview him after the game, though, and he predicts
after the game. And he's like, "I guarantee you're going to beat William and Mary. I guarantee it." He literally played in 5 minutes of one game, and he's just laying the gauntlet out. And I think William and Mary was like the best team in the league that year. And he's like, "I guarantee we're going to beat them." God. We did not, but I think it was like 13. And all the freshmen. I mean, you should have seen the sideline when Elio came back from scoring his touchdown. Like we were all the guys that were redshirting were so excited. Like, we just mobbed him, because he was a great.
He was good.
He just made things fun.
Yes.
Because, like I say this a lot about Todd. You mentioned it, like all the guys that came out of Richmond. that have stayed in football, right?
Yeah.
One shape, one way or the other,
Yeah, yeah.
coach, scouting, media, whatever. Like Jim Reed made sure the team was loaded with people who loved football.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, but it was also really hard. It was
Oh
really
my
hard.
gosh.
Like, we were all we had, and Elio was such a great teammate because he would always make us laugh.
Yes.
You know, he'd
And
always
we needed
like
that more than anything.
in the
at
most
time.
miserable time, you know, like he's gonna like we're in the locker room. It's like 5 o'clock. We're getting ready for mat drills, and I'm sitting next to Elio, and he just does Amy from Congo, the gorilla, and he's
Yeah.
just like, Amy, run sprints. Amy, throw up today. You know, you're just like, you can't help but laugh. You know, you're just dying.
Yeah, we were talking about Coach Leonard the other day, and I mean, it was tough to play for him, but he was just so great how much he cared about you. And then he let us have fun. He let us be ourselves. As much as it was, I mean, the schedule was insane, man. I mean, especially when you were a freshman there, they gave you no free time. It was a tough program to go through, but Leonard was great.
6 days in study hall.
Yeah, Leonard was great about being tough on you, but still letting you be kind of your own guy and having some fun with it, man.
Yeah, and if you did things the right way for Coach Leonard, he had your back.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
He was going to fight for you all the time, and he's just one of the most loyal coaches I ever played for. One of the best coaches I ever played for. He's the man.
It's great to see you, brother.
Yeah,
It's good
awesome.
to see that
Awesome
smile on
spending
your
some time with you.
face.
We could do this for hours.
I'm telling you, the year that I took off from what I was doing turned out to be, and I didn't know it in the time, and I was frustrated about certain things, but like it turned out to be the best blessing that ever happened in my life, and I see it in you. Like, can't wait to see what where you decide, what you choose. I'm sure a ton of things you'll choose from, but
John Wick 7.
John Wick 7. But we love you, and we appreciate you taking the time. Excited to see what you're doing with Glazer, what you're doing next, and can't wait to catch up with you out here in LA, man.
Yeah, man. Love you guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.